Hey, what's going on? It has just been crazy the last little while. Let's see. So first off, today we don't need that. We have been talking to the manufacturer, and they've been ready to ship out Slaughterville Director's Cut again. You've seen the size of the box; it's like a 10-pound box. The thing is huge, right? So they're all ready to ship that out. We're just waiting on the because they have to send information back and forth. Okay, this is how many pallets. This is how big they are. This is how, and it's all just a whole bunch of stuff they do that I actually it's one thing I don't need to worry about. They'll let me know when it ships, and then I just pay them. So that makes life a little bit easier there. Um, what I've been working on, we don't have anybody for today, which is fine. It gives me a chance to catch up with you and get everything going there. But I've been working on this. In fact, I'm sending it all to. I have a folder that I call for print because I'm crazy that way, and the for print folder is obviously for the manufacturer for when when we send it off to print. But this is the uh, Mirror Town. So we finished Armored Car. It started off with I think 2 cards for the rules, but again, I wanted you to be able to read it right, and it ended up going up to 3 for that one, and it has the solo and everything else in it. Murder Spree, believe it or not, Murder Spree is like imagine if let me try to make these so that you can see them. And this way, you know exactly what you're looking at, right? That would only make sense. Okay. Let's stop the screen we're sharing. We share and share alike. There we go. Add it to the stream. There we go. Now you can be able to see this. See this a lot better. All right. So again, Murder Spree has you going around and like an FPS, like a first-person shooter style game, you are hunting the other players. Um, Hunting the defenders so that you can gain points. And we have a set number of rounds here. But to be honest with you, play it as long as you want. That's between you and God. How long you. That's one of the funniest statements I think I've ever made. That's between you and God how long you want to kill people. So yeah, that's that. What you're going to do with Murder Spree is you'll go around and you'll be placing out defenders because they're supposed to be guarding the town. And you're going to try to kill defenders. You're going to try to kill the other players. Each person's at a random location. You'll put 2 out. You can even get these knife tokens that we used in which was the villain that used them this time? Oh, it was the sleeper. They used them. And whenever you deal damage, you can get rid of one of the knife tokens to do an extra 1d3 damage to somebody. When you encounter locations, you don't perform any checks at all. You don't do any of them. Simply attach items and combat allies. We wanted this thing to run fast, and believe me, it does. Okay. This is pretty quick, depending on, again, how many rounds do you want to do? We played 7. 7 went pretty good. And what else we did, one of the reasons we had to add a couple of extra cards to Murder Spree, one, of course, we had to make sure that everything was explained. Like, you don't do the villain, the rule book's villain turn. It doesn't exist. The only villain turn you do is the one on here, and the villain mat. And on the villain turn, you're going to roll for whatever stipulation it is for that round. So you might be fighting with double combat, double nerve. You might be fighting with your perception. You might be we've had it where we fought with double our health. And I like 6 because you use the last round, but then you deal double damage. You can get kill streaks. 3 of them get you a care package. You remove 3 health, or 3 damage, rather. A bomb, you roll 6d6 for each success. Deal 1 damage to all characters and defenders on a location. If you decide to bomb your own location for whatever reason, yes, you damage yourself. Now, nuke, I've gotten close to nuking somebody, but because we only played 7 rounds, I didn't get to nuke anybody yet. But that's when you completely destroy a location. All characters, defenders, everybody's killed. So yeah. And there it is for solo with a couple of AI killers. And the rules for that. Now, Turf War was the last one that we did. And again, it started off with 2 cards, but it ended up going to 4. They've described Turf War, and we've played it a few times with a bunch of different player accounts. They described Turf War as like Slaughtermon or Yu-Gi-Ville, like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh kind of a thing, where you're actually placing out defenders. So you take the defenders and you give them to each person. Each person takes a location, and they take that location's deck. Okay, everything else in the game is blank. The location's ability, all of the cards, all blank. They don't exist. You don't do anything from the rule book, nothing. You don't take your actions regularly. The only thing you do is you get your cards. You'll take 1 minion and then draw 4 cards, so you have 5 in your hand. Yeah, everything except for the villain, except for minion stats, and that's these, just like the character stats are blank. So yep, every turn you draw 2 cards, play as many cards as you want, and you pass the play on to the next player once you're done playing your cards. Things you can do, you can send minions, you can put them out in attack or defense, and you can also turn them from attacker to defender, whichever way you feel like it. The benefits are this: with the attack, that means they get to attack people using combat. If they're defense, they can defend you, as the name would suggest. You use your agility to help defend yourself. You can put any item or ally onto any minion in play. So that means those items or allies that have a negative thing, you can actually apply that to one of your opponents. Okay? And that's the only thing you worry about, is that bonus in the bar, like it shows here. I know I showed the ally one, but you could do it for items or whatever. You can heal. Take any card in your hand, remove it from the game, heal 1 card, which means take 1 from the discard pile, shuffle it back into your deck. Because once your deck is dead, so are you. For each minion, once a turn, you get to either do planning, which lets you draw cards, or you do steady, which gets you clues, which act like an extra armor or defense. So in other words, if you would take damage on your minion, they would take the armor off first. They'd take the clues off first. Now, direct strike is pretty cool because you can discard any number of cards that you want, and then pick a minion. If there's no minion in play, you can choose the player himself. That player or minion suffers 1d3 damage for each card discarded. And you could pick different players, depending on how many cards you discard. And again, Turf's deck is ever empty. They're out of the game. Last player standing wins. I think the longest game we had of this went like a half an hour. It wasn't long at all. And this tells you what to do on the villain turn. First, always with the first player starting, they use their attackers. If the player wants to defend, they can. If not, if there's no defender for the player, then they have to overturn the damage. So they suffer damage. But you make a roll based on your combat, just like usual. and they suffer damage equal to successes. They can reduce it with either the clues or their agility. If a defender dies, they don't. The extra damage doesn't go anywhere; it's just ignored. And after the player's done, the next player does their attackers. So I mean, technically, you could have we have what, like 18 locations. You could have 18 different players, but it would be ridiculous. Also, what else is neat is because you're using the defenders in there as your minions, you could take any character in the game. So if you wanted to take any of the original characters and also mix them in, because the only thing you're using is the stats, you're not using the abilities. You could add more defenders. You could add different defenders if you want to. So yep, they're all there. And plus, like you said, with the regular game, you can always use these as regular characters. So that's that. Yeah, so we did the turf war. That's all done. I am literally that's what made me not late, because that's not the right word for it. I guess it is, because I was. It doesn't matter. But I got distracted because I was actually building the what I call the for print file, and that's the one I'm sending off to the printer so they can start printing Slaughterville 3. So yeah, that's what I was doing. Uh, other than that, we've been working a lot, on Gone Hunting, of course, and we wanted to say that thing's coming along really well. We got some good news on it. There was, I mean, it was really weird. There was I don't know if I can say. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that. There was some real good news on it, and I can't wait to share it with you and show it to you. So yeah, we're gonna hold off on saying it for now, but we do have upcoming. I don't know if you ever heard of Chris Birch. I know you'll probably know the company he works for, or that he owns, Modifius. And what they do is, RPGs, board games. Heck, we have the Kung Fu Panda board game. We have Conan, the RPG. They did the 2D20 system. So yeah, they're coming on. It's not long. Is it next week? I think it might even be next week that they'll be on. Man, this time is just flying fast. And then on the 29th, we're going to have Nicholas Brendan on. So that'll be fun. That'll be cool. He'll be there. Yeah, I don't have my hat on. It's a rare day. It's around here somewhere. I have like 6 hats around here somewhere. So yeah, other than that, that's what we've been doing. Getting work done, of course, as we always do. Taking the kids out. We did some fireworks with them, of course, because that's how we go. And let's see. I want to get how to say this. I want to get well, first off, Gods of Metal has been really well received lately, and that's pretty awesome. A lot of people have been liking it. They've been playing it more, and it was weird because it wasn't one that did well in crowdfunding. In fact, if you're not aware, it didn't fund. I paid for this out of pocket, and we did it through BackerKit. We got the pre-orders that way. Creative Cloud updated. Yay, Adobe. And people have been getting it, and they've been playing it, and they're asking for expansions and everything else. So we're probably going to do at least one. I know I want to do at least one for it, because I have like 5 more bands I could add. I want to add another variable difficulty to it, because if you notice, when you play the game, there's these cards in the metal deck called Surprise Attack. Now I have it tweaked where 8 is the normal amount. As you go through the metal deck, it's going to help advance the metal track towards making the bad guy stronger, and give that sense of tension that we all enjoy. Now, what I want to do is, and this was brought up by a guy I know, Dave. He's like, why don't we add more of those surprise attack cards so that if people want to make it harder that way, they can add more of those in, or if they want to make it easier, they can take some away. So instead of having 8, you play with 5. I mean, technically, you can do whatever you want, but 8 is where I had it at. Feel free to make it as easy or as rough as you want to play it. Either way, I have fun with it. And yeah, I'm going to add, when we do the expansion for Gods of Metal, I'm going to add a couple more, probably 5 or 6 more of the surprise attack cards, just so you can, spice it up a little bit if you want. Make it spicy. All right. And then we have, let me see if I can bring that up. And if you haven't seen Gods of Metal, what's wrong with you? What the hell? Let me bring that up for you here quick. I got so much stuff going. It's pretty cool. Gods of Metal. I don't. Why don't I have that? Oh, I know what I did. Never mind. I took all the. I was making room on the hard drive, and I have it all saved on my externals and on a Dropbox. I'll get it to you later. But I should do that. I should do the. I didn't do the intro. Let's do the intro here, and then we'll come back to it. There you go. Now I feel better. Yeah, we have the Gone Hunting background on because I've been working on that too. I've been working on that like crazy. Again, we have the Slaughterville 3 stuff done. Getting ready to ship. Can't wait. I have Thunder Rolls. That's the background we have here. Just show you quick. 1 second. I have that there. I've been itching to play that, to paint the cars for that. So that's coming up. Let's see, who do we have coming? Now we had like a couple of people have said, yeah, they're gonna jump in, they're gonna come on, but it's not gonna be until after Gen Con, which I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured most people would be hanging out for that. But we have one on the 13th. That's Modifius. 29th is Nick Brendan, and then 22nd is Dennis Robinson. He did the Lycan comic. So he's going to come on, chat about his book, which is good because we have the Slaughterville 2 book coming out soon. I can show you that. I can show you what we have there. So we got tons and tons of stuff. Tons and tons of stuff coming. There we go. There's book 2. I will show you without the letters, without lettering, just so you can see the cool art. I do have the video done for it, and since the video is done, we're just about ready to start sharing that more and more. So, yeah, here we go. It doesn't matter which way we go here. I don't need to be anywhere special. But that's the cover. That's one of the covers anyway. We have the McKenna cover, of course, which we're going to have for this one. But it picks up right where the last one left off. It did not go well for one of the characters. And, yep, lots of blood, trying to rip the axe back out of the head, but it's a little bit stuck. I mean, it does sometimes. Of course, he's still bloody from his fight with the old werewolf. Axe comes out. We got to run. They jump in the car. Oh, they did do something really cool. Whenever the slasher is here, it's not the white borders anymore. They made it all black borders. I don't think I have the copy of those. Whoops. Here I go closing it. What kind of a special one am I? Let's see. Yeah, I didn't download the latest copy of that. I did. Oh, wait, did I? Yes, I did. I'm good at this. There we go. It has the lettering, so I mean, bear with it. So yep, there we go. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Whenever she's here, it's in the black border. When she's not, then it's a like a full color kind of a thing. But yeah, and there she's killing some hunters. Nice sound effects going on. And then when nothing really is going on, it's just the regular borders. And we also have a flashback scene in here. Yeah, there's a couple where there's a bunch of text, but we got to tell you what's going on, and then you'll get into the action and slashes and killing. Yeah, more killing, which is what you want. There we go. And in the flashback scene, they actually made it a tannish, I don't know what you call that color, border, which I thought was pretty cool. It tells the backstory of the slasher and what she did. So there we are. Oh, I still have Thunder Rolls on there. That's cool. I don't mind. In fact, there's Faye from last time. I backed that one too. All right. Yeah. Otherwise, again, I don't want to say it's been boring because it hasn't. I've sent out now 17 that haven't responded yet for things. Some said no. In fact, I just got a couple responses today. Who did I get a response today from? Oh, Renegade. They did. Brain freeze here. I have it sitting right there. The Power Rangers stuff, the GI Joe games, the GI Joe RPGs, and things like that I have sitting over there. They said they're into it, but again, after Gen Con, which again, completely understandable. Yep, Free League is also. Free League is the one that did the Alien RPG and stuff like that. And they did. They're looking again after Gen Con 2. Yeah. Renegade said sometime later. Yep, that's them. Yeah, there have been more than a few that are like, yeah, we'll do it, but it's Gen Con, so we're kind of swamped right now. And I'm like, yeah, no, big. I'd go too. I mean, that is one of my goals, is to get there. And I'd like to go. I just knew I wasn't going to be able to get there this year. So I think next year will be our big. Let's get going there. Let's get going there. So I think that's what we're going to do. That'll be for next year's. We'll make sure we get there, and even if we don't have a booth, because we don't need one. Sure. We sell the games and all, but even if we don't have a booth, I'd like to go just to go, because I've never been to that. So I think it'll be pretty cool to go. All right. So that's all we have, really. Don't forget, if you have any questions for any of the people when we do the guest things, feel free to come on. Say hi to them. I'm going to do more on advertising these streams, just so we get more people in. And I'll try not to be late again. But otherwise, I guess that's going to be it. I'm going to get back to work, get these things done, and we'll catch you next time. We'll see you.